welcome to this yoga class. Today we're gonna do a super slow flow. Okay, so if you maybe had a really rough day or if you've been sick for a few days, sometimes you feel that your body needs to move, it needs to just get some of the tension out, but you don't have any energy. So you don't want to use up the energy you have. And that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna move really slowly, really soft. And you can just take your time with every of the asanas. And if you feel more energized, you can always make them more active. So that's up to you. We're going to start lying down. So take your time to just relax on the mat. If you want, you can use your blanket. Put it under your head. Sometimes it's more comfortable. And then you can put the soles of your feet together. Let the knees fall outwards. And you can relax your hands on your stomach, your belly, or outwards as well, whatever feels comfortable for you. And just, you see my feet are just kind of going away from me, just let them go. You'll find finally you get in that position that feels most comfortable. And you can just stay there. And take a few deep breaths. All the way to the lower belly. And relax through the mouth. So release through the mouth. Always in through the nose. Try not to breathe in through the mouth. Always in through the nose. And then you can always breathe out through the mouth if you want to make it kind of into a sigh. Try to relax the hips, the knees. If it's uncomfortable for you, you can just stretch your legs. There's no problem. You can close your eyes and you can focus on your breathing. So focus on the movement of your belly, the air going in and out, completely at your own pace. You don't have to change anything about your breathing. Try to feel your body. So try to feel what is happening in your legs, your hips, your belly. In and out. If you feel any tension in your body, try to locate it. So try to feel where the tension is coming from, if it's your knees, your hips, your back, anywhere. And try to focus your attention to that place. And steer your breathing towards that place. So you can kind of visualize the place in your body where the tension holds. And you breathe towards that place. And when you breathe in, it's kind of like you make more space. And when you breathe out, the part of your body gets to relax a little bit more. And slowly you can put your feet on the ground, mat wide. And you can move them from left to right, like wiper blades. And it's up to you how big you make the movement. So you can just take it very small movements or maybe a bit wider if you feel up to it. Any movement you like. So this is just going to be one of those lessons where you got all the freedom you want. Usually you have that anyway, yoga is, it's not I tell you what to do, it's always your own interpretation. I merely give options and it's up to you what you do with it. But in this class, even more, because it's kind of like trying to feel how your body is moving and follow the movements, and not so much you making the movements. That might sound a bit weird, but you'll see what I mean. Maybe you want to get your knees up to your chest, lengthen the back, so when you roll a little bit from side to side, you might notice that your back lengthen. You can make small circular movements with your knees. And then you can feel how your back, your lower back, is rolling over the floor. So you're massaging your back with this movement. And both ways, so you can change directions and roll the other way. All the while keeping the breathing going. So that's the most important part. That's the one thing that you do have to do if you feel like you're holding your breath. Sigh one or twice so that the breathing becomes slow and easy again. And you can make as many movements as you like, but if your breathing is fast and shallow, or you keep holding it, or it's very irregular, your body will never relax and you'll notice. So even if you would lay down here for like 40 minutes, not move at all, if you keep your breath slow and steady, you'll relax more than if you would make a lot of movements and keep your breathing shallow and irregular. Okay. Hold your knees with your hands, and you can just let your knees fall open. As far as wide as you like. Keep your back relaxed, and you can pull them upward slightly or let them down a bit more, whatever feels good. If you want, you can make movements as well with your legs. And if you just want to keep them still, that's fine too. Try to follow your body. What do you want? What do you need? What feels good? And where do you feel like, okay, this is not really my thing? And you can keep smiling if you want. You know, this is you time, me time. Just for you. You just take a moment out of your day to unwind, to relax. And there's no rules here. There's no goal. You can just do whatever you want. We're slowly going to go into a twist. You can still keep the blanket under your head if you want. I'm just going to put it aside so that my neck is a bit longer. If you want, you can move your hips towards the left a little bit. Pull your knees towards your chest, and then you can slowly let your knees go to the right. So we're going into a twist. Try to keep both shoulders on the mat. If you feel that your left shoulder is like coming along, put a blanket or a pillow between your knees. You can let your left hand just lie on the ground. My braid is in the way. The other hand, you can just let it rest on your knees, or if you want to, you can also just let them both go outwards to the sides. And you might notice that the breathing is different. When you're lying in a twist, your organs get squashed a little bit, wranged a little bit, which is kind of good, you know, because it stimulates the blood going through. So it's good for detoxing, but it's always a bit different to breathe, which makes the breathing that much more important. So especially in a twist, try to focus on your breathing and bring it all the way to the belly. Slow and steady. If you want, you can move your head towards the left, your face towards the left. But if that's uncomfortable for your neck, just keep your nose towards the ceiling. You know, sometimes moving slow and staying into a pose for a bit longer, especially if it's a relaxing pose. It can be even more difficult than fast and strong movements. Sometimes it's not physically. Sometimes the difficulty is mental. It's mentally hard to keep your attention towards the pose and not wander. But every time you notice that you wander, and believe me, you will, and that's okay, just get back. Bring yourself back without judgment, without getting angry about your moving away from the pose. Just get back. And then we're going to slowly switch sides. So you can keep your feet on the ground, move your knees upwards, get your back straight again. If you want, you can just take a few moments here to neutralize the back. If it feels good, you change sides. If you want, you can move your hips towards the right a little bit, so you keep your shoulders where they are. Again, lift your knees, and then you twist. It's important to twist with a long back. You can let your right arm go outwards. Left arm, you can leave your hand on your knees, or you can also just stretch both arms. And breathe. We're just gonna keep on breathing, people. And maybe you feel that there is some tension in the body, like you cannot really relax. Try to locate the tension. Try to feel where it's coming from. And then visualize that place. So just try to go towards that place with your attention, with your breath. And try to relax. Every time you breathe out, feel that you can relax the tension in that place a little bit more. And sometimes on first, it feels like you're completely relaxed and you can let go. And then after like half a minute or something, without you noticing, unconsciously you're tensing up again. So just keep your awareness. Keep your awareness with the body, with the breath. And most importantly, don't force yourself into any pose. Okay, so this is going to be like the most slow, relaxed yoga class you've had probably. So take all the time to make it a very, very comfortable pose for you. Put something between the knees that releases the tension on the muscle, releases the tension in the hip, on the buttocks if it's too tight. And then very slowly come back up again. You can leave your feet on the ground. Okay. Then we're going to move the pelvis and the hips. If you want, you can place your hands above your head. You can place them wide or alongside your body, whatever feels good for you. And we're going to move the pelvis so you can pull the navel in and then it goes backwards. So you make a hollow back and you kind of push your back entirely onto the ground and then you make a hollow back. So it's kind of the tailbone goes down, pubic bone goes up, and the other way around. So you kind of roll the lower back from front to back, over the ground, over your mat. Keep breathing slowly. Moving the hips. Okay. If you're ready, you can roll onto your right side. And then push yourself up to a sitting position. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you can pull your left foot in, right foot in front, right foot, yes, right, okay. right foot in front. Okay. And then you can lift your hands halfway, shoulder height. When you breathe out, left hand goes to the floor, right hand goes up, and maybe even over. Okay. And if you want, you can just kind of wave, make a small movement, like a tree in the wind, basically. So it's a very soft, waving motion. If you want to make it a still movement, you can do that too. Try to keep your chest up, sternum up, so you don't fall forward. And try to keep both of your sitting bones on the floor. And move as much as you want, as far as you like. You can make this movement more active, make it a more active stretch, or you can keep it soft. And if you want to keep it more soft, you can let your head of your hand hang over your head and just make a wave like this. Just feel how much energy you want to use. Okay. Then we go forward, both hands on the ground, and then you can walk all the way to the front and then all the way to the other side. Place your hand in line with your hip so you can really move sideways. And then the left hand goes up. And again, slowly, with movement or still asana. And this is very different. It's very different from the normal hatha, where you try to distribute your strength evenly, your weight evenly. And this is relaxed yoga. In this case, it's a very, very relaxed yoga. So we're just trying to make the movements as easy going as they are, without using too much strength. So don't worry about using your strength evenly. Just see where you can let go a little bit more. Okay, and we're going back to the front again. So both hands on the ground. Move all the way to the front of your mat, or the front of your body. And you can relax there. Maybe you want to put your elbows on the mat, maybe your hands, maybe you want to stretch out. And you reach forward, push your tailbone back. And you can relax your head on the ground or maybe just in front of you. Keep it more active. If you want to keep it soft, place your hands a little bit closer to your body. Relax your shoulders and relax your head. If you want, you can also just put your forehead on the ground and your hands alongside your body. And slowly roll yourself back up. Make sure you sit up straight again. And we're going to switch legs. So the right leg goes in, left leg in front. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Lift the arms halfway and then move towards the left. And we're going to move slowly. We're going to make it a little bit shorter. So not as extensive as the last one. All the way to the front. Walk yourself to the other side. Open up towards the left, towards the right this time. Left hand open. Remind yourself about the breathing all the time, just slow and steady. And go back to the front. And again, you can stay in the front, actively or more passive. Try to feel what your body needs. Relax your belly so the breathing can go down and deep, slow. And then you can roll yourself back up. Keep your hands on the floor. So you can roll over onto your hands and your knees into kind of a tabletop position. I'm gonna tuck in my shirt, otherwise it's a bit difficult to see. Okay. I'm doing a lot of things on my fists because I have a problem with my wrists, but you can just use your flat hand and put them on the floor. If you have a little bit pain in the knees, or even maybe if you don't, it's nice to have a blanket if you want. You can put a blanket on your knees. Sometimes it's better if you have a very hard surface to use something under your joints. We're gonna make some cat movements. So we're just gonna hollow the spine and make it round. Keep the breathing slow. When you breathe in, you open up, so you make a round, a hollow back, and when you breathe out, you make a round back. And try to use your breathing, pace of your breathing, for the exercise. So when you breathe in, use your entire breath in to hollow the back, and your entire breath out to round the back. Try to keep the hips still, the shoulders still. Just use the back for the movement. And then you can come all the way back to the tabletop. Try to make your back a little bit flat. Don't try to let it hang. Activate a little bit of the belly muscles. Okay. And then you can lift your right leg up to the back a little bit. Don't try to like really stretch it or use your buttocks and your muscles a lot. Just let it go from the front a little bit to the back. Soft movement, soft movement. Not to activate the muscles, but just to move the leg and the hip. Try to keep the back straight. So if you move your leg upwards, try not to hang. Keep the back long and active. Just rock it back and forth. And then you can move your knee, when you move it to the front, a little bit outwards. So it comes on the outside of your right hand. And then you can move your foot a little bit more to the front. So you move your foot to the front. Your left leg, you can go all the way back. You can walk it backwards. If this is too much for the knee, put a pillow or blanket under your right buttocks. That way you can lift a little bit and it releases the tension in the knee. Once you sit, don't move your right leg anymore. Don't move your right foot. Otherwise you compromise the knee, okay? And you can lower yourself on your elbows. Just relax in this position. If you have more room in this area, you can move your hands forward, your head on the floor, and just completely let go in this pose. Keep the breathing slow and steady. If it feels too difficult, you can just leave your hands and your elbows on the floor. And breathe. And this could be a pose where you experience a lot. Sometimes it's not even purely physical. Sometimes it's only the thoughts or the emotions that come up. And try to just let them come. Don't try to push them away. You don't have to do anything with them, so you don't have to go along with every thought that comes by. But if you push them away, it's like, you're not allowed to think about a pink elephant, and then all you can think about is a pink elephant, which is really annoying. It's the same with thoughts. Just let them pass, let them come by, say hello. And every time you can bring your focus back to the body. And then you can slowly walk your hands towards yourself a little bit. Maybe you just want to let it halfway. If you have room in your lower back, you like to stretch a little bit. Make sure the back leg is long and in line with the mat, so not inwards or outwards. So your back is completely straight. And if you want, You can make a stretch. Release, if you come up, relax the lower back and the buttocks. So you don't compress the lower back, you keep it long, even if you come up. You can keep your hands on the floor or on your front leg. Keep the breathing steady. So never force yourself into a position. Okay. And you can put both of your hands on the floor and slowly walk your knee and your foot, the left leg, towards yourself. That way you get some room for the right leg to be freed finally, and you can just wiggle it a little bit if you feel like it, or just stretch it all out, all the way to the back. Just nicely stretching. Okay, we're gonna go on to the other side. I'm gonna switch sides. No, I'm not gonna switch sides, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to look at you. We're gonna go to the other side. Left leg, slow movements, back and forth. And again, if you want a more active class, you can just really, move the leg up this way, activate the buttocks, the back. You keep it long, long back, slow movements. And keep on breathing. We just gotta keep on breathing, guys. That's all we can do, right? And then you can move the left knee all the way outwards towards the left hand. Move your foot forward a little bit. And then you move the right leg back, all the way back. I'm just gonna go a little bit like this. And again, you can move something under the left hip if you wanna release the tension on the knee. Don't move this foot anymore. You're gonna push it forward or backwards to compromise the knee. And then you can lower yourself again. Keep on breathing. The pose is too difficult. You just lay on your back and just pull your knee towards you. The English language still has some challenges for me. So you pull your leg towards you, lying on the back. It's kind of the same movement. If you want, you can stretch all the way out to the front. Let your head rest on the mat. And keep your attention to the pose. Try to feel if you might have any tension somewhere that you could release. Okay. Again, slowly move yourself back up. Take your time. All the way up. Keep the back leg straight in line with the mat. And if you want, you can sit up. If it's too much, hold your position a bit more forward. If you come up, relax the back. Okay, so keep it slow. Keep breathing. I always keep saying that. It's so easy to forget somehow. We do it naturally, but when our focus comes towards something else, or for example, a pose that is difficult or painful even, which is not supposed to be painful, we're here, but then we stop breathing. We stop making that natural breath. Then you can move your weight onto your left hip, and you can move the right leg forward all the way to the front. If you want, you can just relax the legs a little bit, the feet, the hips, just wiggle it out. Okay. And you can come back to the front, both feet together. We're going to do a forward bend. So you can let your hands rest on your feet if you want. And then slowly move your weight all the way down. Relax the head. Relax the shoulders, the feet. So you don't pull your feet towards you. You just let your hands rest there. And when you're sitting there, maybe you feel like you need to make it a bit more wider, so you move your feet a bit more to the front. And keep the pose relaxed. Relax the belly, and every time you breathe out, you could feel like you could let go a bit more in the pose. Like you can surrender a little bit into this forward bend. If it's too much for you for the knees to go outwards, just stretch your legs in front of you. And then you can make the same forward bend with stretched legs. If it's easier for you on the hips, just make that variation. And then you can roll yourself back up. Long back again. And we're gonna go lie down. You can, if you want, use your pillow under your head again. And if you have a big cushion or a book or block, you can use that for the last pose, the supported bridge pose. Put your feet on the ground, move them a little bit towards you, so they're steady. And then slowly lift your hips. Pull your navel in and upwards, and then you can use your hands to put the block, the cushion in my case, under the hips. If you put the block under, make sure it's supported on the lowest part of the lower back and the hips, not too high. Okay, you feel it. If it feels uncomfortable, just make something soft. This is easier, this is softer. And if you want, you can one by one stretch the legs outwards, a bit wide apart your feet. And that way you can completely relax in an open pose, which is really nice after the swan we did, halfway, with the feet in front. And then this way it's the other way around. You completely open the hips, psoas get stretched. It's an important muscle that can hold a lot of tension. You can let your hands go outward. If it's too much to stretch the legs, just keep your feet on the ground. So you can just leave them here, for example, or halfway, maybe you like it halfway. I like to stretch. I love to stretch. It's a really good pose as well if you've been sitting a lot, because you kind of completely counter sitting position. And you can keep your face soft, your chest soft, your belly soft, completely surrendering to the pose. Few more breaths here. Oh, this is so comfy. I'd like to just stay here for about an hour. Oh well. You can put your feet back onto the ground. Activate your belly muscles. Lift the hips first so you can safely remove the cushion. Release your lower back onto the ground. You can keep the feet a bit wider and let the knees fall towards each other. That way the back is like the most relaxed. Just a few moments here. If you want to release into Shavasana, just release the legs. You can lie down already. If you like, you can just keep it this way for a few more moments. And then slowly, one by one, stretch the legs all the way Open the arms if you want. You can keep them on your belly if you like. You want to use a pillow or folded blanket in my case under the head. Try to also support the neck. So not just the head, but keep the neck supported as well. And just let go. And try to feel how your body is right now. What do you notice? Is there any difference in your breathing, in the tension, maybe in temperature? Maybe your thoughts changed or your emotions changed. Maybe you feel exactly the same as how you came in. And try not to judge yourself on whatever comes up. Just try to enjoy the moment of relaxation. You find that usually, especially in yoga, but usually in life, there's no point getting opinionated about how you feel, what you experience. It only aggravates the thoughts or the feelings. If you can just like swim along with the stream, it's usually a lot easier, and it doesn't change the facts, it doesn't change the moment. Try to enjoy this moment, the time you're taking for yourself, the awareness you can have in your body. And if you want to just lay down here, you can just stop the video and maybe take a nap. If you want to end the session with me and slowly move onto one side, roll yourself all the way to one side and then take some time to lift yourself back up. And you can take a moment sitting down just to reflect. Sometimes it's different, when you're lying down and when you're sitting up. The physical experience you have, the things you notice. And try to be curious about what's happening inside of you. Like a child, just observing, watching, wanting to know without wanting to change. And then you can bring your hands together in front of your heart and give yourself some love. Thank yourself, for being here, for showing up for you. And bring your awareness towards your health, your body, your breath, your mind, your spirit. Being there for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you next time. Namaste. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it,
please give me a thumbs up, it would be a big help. And if you like to stay updated on new videos, subscribe to my channel. For more information, you can go to my website or social media.